Welcome to Service Drive Revolution and your Friday drive-by. Hope you've had a great week so far. I want to give you a little something to think about, a little inspiration going into the weekend. So, how do we win at life? How do we get ahead? How do we protect ourselves? It ends up that you kind of want to take things back to the beginning of how everything starts. Everything starts with a cell that divides, and then those cells divide again, and then they divide and they divide, and it ends up just being constant progress, right? And so all of a sudden, those little cells become a little embryo in a womb, and then it grows and grows, and then it wants out of there, it wants out of the oven, and somebody's born. And then same thing, they grow and they learn, and it's progress. It's constant progress. It's constant progress. But at some point, some of us around the age, it seems like late 30s, early 40s, we hit this stage where we just don't want things to change anymore. And we want to play it safe, and we want consistency, and we want routine. And what happens when we do that is we become irrelevant, and we go backwards because the world is about progress. Everything is constantly growing, constantly improving, constantly learning, constantly getting better. And when we stop doing that, when we stop constantly improving, constantly wanting to take on new challenges, learn new things, then we start to die. That's literally what happens. We start to die. And whether you start to die physically or you start to die mentally, you start to die. I was thinking about the coronavirus and how it starts off with a couple cells and then it goes from one person to another. And just think about how that virus and those cells spread and grew across the world and how many people it affected and the devastation that it caused. And then think about your impact on the world. Like, you have the ability to have an impact on the world, to constantly get better, to constantly grow, to take on more responsibility, to be a bigger solution, to step up when nobody else will, to get involved when nobody else wants to get involved, to figure something out that's complicated, to put in the work, to dedicate yourself to being a leader and pushing an industry, a business, whatever it is, pushing it forward and making it amazing. But a lot of times we just sit there and we just want normal. We want average. We don't want to take on a challenge. We don't want to get outside of our comfort zone. We want to protect our little area, our little domain. We don't want anything to move, nothing to change. And that's the beginning of death. So my advice, my inspiration to you going into this weekend is let's get out and have a little more physical activity. Let's put in some work. Let's get the blood flowing. Let's learn something new. Let's read a book or take a course. Let's travel if that's possible. Let's reach out and make some new friends. Let's get out there and really make an impact on the world. We have such an opportunity to change our industry right now, but it's the thing that frustrates me is it's the good managers, the managers that are wholesome, that have ethics, aren't the ones that step up to the plate and become leaders. It's the narcissistic, evil, crooked ones that are the ones that are motivated, and they end up setting the tone and killing our industry. What we need is the managers that actually care, that have ethics, that have standards, and really believe to be the ones to step up and be leaders right now. And if that's you, let's do this. Let's step up and let's be better. And I know that's a lot to take in, but think about it. A lot of times when I give this sort of advice, or when I go this deep, you fight it at first, but the next day you wake up and you go, hey, Chris kind of had a point there. There might be something. So I hope that this is one of those situations where it really sinks in and you think like, hey, he's right. I am the person that should be stepping up and owning responsibility in my business, in my market, in my state, in my country. Your potential is a lot bigger than what we're doing right now. And so Let's try to live up to that full potential and spread, and let's get progress back. Let's get improvement back. Let's get better every day. Let's not let one day go by where we wake up and we weren't better than the day before. Okay, that was heavy, but now watch this clip from next week's big show, Service Drive Revolution.
Next week on Service Drive Revolution.
We're going to talk about the greatest cars of all time. First thing I want to talk about is jet skis. Not to give you business advice, but why are you discounting something that's in short supply? I don't even know if we call them an American company anymore, do we?
No, I think they're pretty Italian for the most part.
God, can you imagine if I was the CEO of General Motors, how many people would hate me?
Hey, do you want to hear a construction joke?
Is it funny? Hey, listen real carefully, Jake. Get your ear right up to the speaker. I'm gonna whisper it in your ear. I did a lot of bad things in the back seat of that car. It was one of those cars that had a bench seat.
That's right, and she could hit the pedal with her left foot.
Proof too that you can get a girlfriend in a Chevy Citation. Thanks for watching this episode of Service Drive Revolution's Drive-By. I hope it gives you something to think about over the weekend and inspires some new ideas and hopefully some new results. If you have any questions for the big show, go ahead and post them below in the comments. We'll be looking out for them and we'll answer them on the show. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell icon so you're notified when we post new episodes. I'm Chris Collins, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at Chris Bulldog Collins. And I'll see you again on the next episode.